Venezuela, once the richest country in South America, now a nation torn apart by collapse, corruption, and global interests converging on its soil. The question is simple: is the United States targeting Venezuela to fight a drug war or to control a resource-rich nation? Let's dig in. For over a decade, Venezuela has been in turmoil. Hyperinflation wiped out savings, food and medicine disappeared, and millions fled. Amid this chaos, drug trafficking surged. The country sits at a key route for cocaine from Colombia and Peru to North America and Europe. The UN estimates over 1,000 metric tons of cocaine are produced annually in the region, and traffickers increasingly use Venezuela's weak borders and corrupt networks. The U.S. officially frames its actions as part of the war on drugs. Drug seizures along Venezuela's coast rose by 30% since 2023, and sanctions target officials accused of trafficking. But here's the catch: the sanctions hit the entire economy. Oil exports, banking, and even humanitarian sectors, raising a deeper question: is this really about drugs or control? Let's see what's inside the bigger picture. Venezuela holds over 300 billion barrels of proven oil reserves, the largest in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. In a world seeking alternatives to Russian and Iranian oil, Venezuela becomes strategically irresistible. Sanctions keep its oil under U.S. influence, while China, Russia, and Iran step in to fill the gap with investment and arms deals. That's where geopolitics takes over economics. This isn't new. U.S. influence in Latin America has a long record of intervention under the banners of freedom, security, or anti-drug operations. From Cuba to Panama, Washington has used similar narratives to justify control. Venezuela today fits the same pattern: a nation resisting U.S.-aligned policies, portrayed as a narco-state while becoming a stage for great power rivalry. Regional players are watching closely. Colombia cooperates with the U.S. on counter-drug missions. Brazil manages border security and migration. The Caribbean, relying on Venezuelan oil, balances survival and diplomacy. Each move either supports or resists Washington's dominance in the hemisphere. Now we'll discuss the human cost. Over 7 million Venezuelans have fled since 2015, one of the largest migrations in modern history. Shortages of food, power, and medicine persist, but the global focus remains on strategy, not people. For most Venezuelans, geopolitics feels distant, yet it shapes their everyday. So, drug war or power grab? The truth sits somewhere in between. On paper, it's about narcotics. In practice, it's about energy, money, and influence. Venezuela's crisis is now tied to a much larger game, one where Washington, Beijing, and Moscow all have stakes. The story of Venezuela is a warning. When a country holds vast resources but weak institutions, it becomes a battleground for global powers, and in that fight, ordinary citizens always pay the price, because in the end, this isn't just about drugs or oil. It's about who decides the future of nations and who pays for that decision.